Guess I could have caught you. You wouldn't have to sit down.
It's okay.
Mr. Chairman, it's 6:15.
Please stand for the pledge of prayer. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we come to you, Lord, at this time, thanking you for the day you provided, the many blessings. And Father, as we come to this time of the day, we ask that you would lead, guide, and direct those that have been set aside for the purpose of guidance of this school system. And Father, we ask that what is said and done here tonight be pleasing in your sight in accordance to your plan. We ask it in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Any public comments?
Thank you. Kevin Jones, and I'm serving as the chairperson for the Superintendent Screening Committee, and I thank you for the opportunity to say a few words tonight. I just wanted to give the board and the community an update on a few things and also give you some information on the committee itself. For those that don't know, the committee is comprised of one classified employee, 2 certified employees, 1 principal, 2 parents, and a board member. This committee has over 150 years of investment in this school system. Furthermore, the 4 school employees have a combined total of 104 years of employment to this school. The committee met with the board this past Monday night for their first meeting. The committee then went into executive session with KSBA facilitator Mr. Tim Eaton to start the process of obtaining applications and getting guidance for the work ahead. As noted in the public portion of the meeting, 15 complete applications were submitted, 15 applications that are 10 to 15 pages in length. A screening committee is usually given 2 weeks to go through the applications before the second committee meeting occurs. This committee has been afforded 4 days to go through roughly 160 pages of information that will hopefully help determine the next superintendent of the Wayne County Schools. As a committee, it is our charge to work and find the best candidates for this position and send to the board. But ultimately, the best candidates for the students of this school system. Our peers have put their trust in us to do just that. The question from the committee to the board is this: do you fully trust and value the work that we are doing and will continue to do? And the culmination of that work being sending you the most qualified applicants. Do you trust that we will find applicants that meet the following criteria as set forth in the job description? An innovative and motivational leader. Someone with strong and proven leadership of improving student achievements. The ability to effectively communicate with staff and the community. Someone that possesses strong morals and ethics. Someone that possesses the knowledge of budgeting, school finances, buildings and grounds. And someone with a working knowledge of the current Kentucky educational system. Do you trust and value the work the majority of this committee is doing? Thank you.
Thank you for letting me speak to you again. First off, we have learned in the last few weeks the screening committee will be doing an extensive vetting and reviewing of the superintendent applicants. My question for you is, will you be selecting a candidate from one of those top 3 to 5 that they recommend? Or will it be like 9 years ago when someone made a motion to interview all from Wayne County to give someone a chance? Will this happen again, that your number 1 pick is not in that top 3 to 5 candidates? If you are not selecting one of those top candidates recommended to you from this committee, then you have wasted the school's money paid to the KSBA, and more important, you have wasted a month of the classified, certified principal, and parent summer that makes up this screening committee. It would be a smack in the face to those who have served this process. Now let's get to the real reason why these people are here. It's not to show support for a candidate. It's to hopefully convince you that one candidate is not welcomed and not suitable for the position. I'm not going to name any names, but one is definitely not right for the position. Would you want a superintendent that harassed a teacher so much that he was kicked out of the middle school by a principal and told by the current superintendent that he was not to be back in there unless he had an escort from a principal? Is that the kind of leader that you all want? Do you want a superintendent that allowed his staff to refer to a fellow staff member as Miss Effer without, instead of Miss Tucker? And when confronted about this, he just laughed. This is the type of person that makes a workplace a hostile work environment. Is that the kind of leader that you all want? Do you want a superintendent that in his previous position made his maintenance staff purchase batteries from his family's business for over a year and a half? And if you want, I have the records for that from the school, open public records. Is that what you want running our school? The Attorney General's office has been made aware of this process and how the things went down last time. Let's just hope none of you were involved last time and this time on the attempt of the corruption. Like I said last meeting, do the right thing for the students, the staff, and all of Wayne County, and put the best person in for that job.
Well, I have got a question myself. If we're not supposed to know who the candidates are you on the screening committee and you've got, how do you know whose name is on? I don't even know whose name is on the list.
He's been mentioned, he is applying.
So you do know the people's names on the list?
I know one because
Wow, I don't know any. No, I don't. I'm not on the screening committee. The screening committee is supposed to submit all this and turn it in to us as a board meeting. And the best qualified, I do not know of hearsay and hearsay and I've
like
never.
I said last time, as you please, if you all select the best candidate, I'll come in here and thank every one of you publicly for selecting the best candidate.
But I don't know how. I don't know who's on the list. I just know the screening committee. They will turn the list over to us, the board. And when you the screening committee, and thank you for your hard work. And I know it's no pay like us. But anyway, I don't know until I see the names on the screening committee, and I hope it is picked the top qualified myself. You're next.
I'm Rhonda Shear. I am a parent of a student here in the school system, and I have prepared something, not here to slap anybody in the face or anything like that. I just want my opinion heard. My daughter just finished kindergarten, so we are invested in the school system for several years. She is the reason I'm here tonight, to have my voice heard respectfully and to speak respectfully. We are all adults and should speak that way. I would like to start by saying that we have currently working individuals in our district that are qualified for the position of superintendent, and they would do an excellent job in that role. They are not newbies that don't know what they're doing. They are not ready for retirement or tired of working. They will be here for several years so that we don't have to go through this process again in just a few short years. That doesn't accomplish anything. They're not retired and want to come back into the school system for whatever reason is anyone's guess. Personally, when I retire, I'm going to the house. I'm not coming back to work. There are also currently working individuals from outside our district that have applied for this position. So we should have a good pool of candidates to choose from. We cannot select anyone that will cause this system to go backwards in time. We must move forward and be united. We have to have someone that can manage money, can choose what construction projects need to happen before others because it is what is best for all the kids, can fairly select personnel to hire, can solve problems before they happen, will work with parents and all staff, will be present at school functions, will visit the schools and ask if there is problems and how things are going. They also have to be willing to interact with the kids, from a senior that's getting ready to walk out the door to my daughter that just graduated kindergarten. We need someone who is always looking for new things that will aid in the education of our kids. We do not need someone, whether it be a superintendent, a board member, any staff member, that is in favor of removing the nickel tax that we have in place. I served on the facilities committee and have seen the financial report the state presented. We cannot remove this tax. Whoever would suggest this ideal and vote in favor of this ideal would be personally responsible for making the decision that could bankrupt our school system. In my opinion, we need at least one more nickel tax in place so that our school system can make the many needed improvements listed in the facilities report that you all will see later. Every building we have is in need of major renovations. The roof leaks at the middle school. Classroom ceilings have fell in at Bell. Steps in the stairways at the high school are separating from the floor, and we won't even start to talk about Walker. But I'll say this about Walker. It has physically made my child sick all year, along with numerous other children that parents have approached me. We do not need an employee who is out for their own good and puts the kids of this district at the bottom of their to-do list. We do not need someone in any position, again, I don't care who it is, from the janitor to the superintendent, that is not allowed to enter buildings without supervision because of sexual harassment issues brought forth by employees at those buildings. We do not need someone in any position that uses sexually explicit nicknames for employees. And if we want to address the years of service people in the district have logged, maybe we need to say to those looking down on lengthy stays in the district that they need to look in the mirror and pass judgment on themselves before judging others. Maybe they have been here too long also. Lastly, I would like to ask the board members to separate themselves from each other. Each of you has a mind that each of you needs to use to make your own decision in regards to every situation that is presented to this board. You do not need to be led by the hand and told what to do. Any person that serves on this board should have their own opinions of what is right and what is wrong. They should have the intellectual ability to make decisions for themselves and speak for those decisions. And I would also like to say, what justice would you be doing in hiring someone that no one wants to work for or no one wants leading the school that their children attend? Nothing will get accomplished. There will be constant complaints to be dealt with from staff and parents. These complaints will come to the board members because you are the ones making this very important decision. Everyone involved will be miserable and unhappy. There will be nothing but turmoil in our school system, and the kids will be the ones that suffer. I would also like to remind the board members that you do hold publicly elected offices. People will remember what you say, what you do at future elections. That's pretty well sums everything up I've got to say. I thank you for your time.
Are there any other comments? Okay, seeing none, then we'll move ahead. No recognition this month. Superintendent's report. In addition to your personnel reports you have 15 retirees this year. That's 8 certified staff, 7 classified staff. We will have a reception for these individuals Tuesday, June the 20th, if you want to jot this down, Tuesday, and we'll remind you closer to time, but Tuesday, June the 20th, from 4:30 until 6. And we're going to stick with the same format we've had the last few years. We seem to have had better participation from our retirees, and I think it's worked well. So there'll be a schedule for them to come in, and if you're available, we'd love to have you, and they'd love to get a pat on the back from you as well. Screening committee will meet again tomorrow at 6. And I do want to mention, if you saw this week's Outlook, there's several pictures in there about our new food truck. And Casey has moved that around to the front parking lot, I believe. So I'd encourage everybody to check it out as you leave. It's been on the road here now for about 2 weeks and has already served more meals in those 2 weeks than we did all last summer. That's about 2,000 meals in 2 weeks. So I'm very pleased. As I brag about our food department all the time, our food service department, they're great. In addition, this year, they are partnering with the KDE's Summer Boost program, which is a math and literacy initiative that was mentioned in the Wayne Weekly as well. KDE's giving us books, bookmarks, workbooks to give out to students with the meals in an attempt to avoid the summer slide. So we're just tickled to death with what food service is doing. Thank you, Casey. You and your department, staff, it's great. That's 1,000 meals a week, give or take a little bit, and I would expect that'll probably increase as the summer goes along and people get used to the schedule and so forth. It's a great service for our community, and I very much appreciate Casey's work in getting the food truck and providing the meals and so forth. So, any questions about anything I've mentioned so far? Or? Okay, we'll move on then to item number 5. Approval of the district facility plan public hearing report. Mr. Alley, if you'll come for that one.
Yes, the public hearing report is nothing more than a formality for KDE. Last week we held a public hearing on Wednesday. There were no members of the public present to give any kind of concerns or anything. So you guys approved the district facility plan last meeting. This is nothing more than a formality just to send to KDE.
Thank you, Mr. Alley. I recommend we approve the facilities plan public hearing report.
Make a motion to approve the district facility plan public hearing report.
Second. All in favor?
Good. Item number 6 then, to approve the final Wayne County School District facility plan as approved by the local planning committee and brought before the public hearing. So this is the last hoop to jump through for your facility plan, which comes up every 4 years. So this will be it for a little while. So recommend we approve item number 6.
Motion approved, Wayne County School District facility plan.
Second.
All in favor?
Item number 7 then is to approve an invoice to Deco Architects, the amount of $31,139.60 for professional services in relation to the Wayne County District facility plan.
Make a motion to approve $31,139.60 to Deco Architects. Second. All in favor?
Item number 8, approval of the sale of the A.J. Lloyd Middle School, which is approximately 4.71 acres, to the city of Monticello. That is, they have agreed to purchase that for the appraised value, and the appraisal is attached to your minutes there. I'm not your minutes, but your agenda on your screen.
What's our future plans for it? Give me an idea.
We've talked about that. Actually, Deco made a little presentation here. They want to turn it into I guess a public venue.
Community center like.
Communities, yeah, they're going to. It won't have a roof. They're going to keep the stone structure is the current plan, and they'll build a skeleton inside to support that, and that's where they want to have public events, community market. They've submitted, I think, a grant request to federal government, and I'm told that they think they're going to get it. So. We had agreed in principle to work with them, and so they're ready to proceed, and we are ready to part with it. So,
The reason I said that, I didn't want to see it tore down.
no, it's not. No. They're going to maintain the historical structure.
Yeah, because we've had some people like Hal Rogers graduated here,
Well,
Ken Davis.
Yeah, he's on board with this, I'm told. I've not spoken with him personally, but I think he's the mover and the shaker behind this. So it's a good deal for us. It's a good deal for the city and the county. And quite a bit of legwork has been done to get this done, so they feel like it's all going to happen. So I recommend we approve the sale to the city.
Make a motion to approve sale to the city.
Second.
All in favor?
Item number 9, we need to approve a capital funds request in the amount of $55,261.25. That is to purchase door control software as we move away from keys and to programmable key cards. You have to have software to run that. And I take it this is an upgrade, Valerie, so.
Yes, their current software, support doors going forward. It's supporting the doors we have now, but, new controllers, new doors, it's not going to work. So we'll continue to upgrade doors to keep our software.
Recommend we approve this.
Make a motion to approve capital funds request amount $55,261.25.
Second.
All in favor?
Item number 10, approval to pay an invoice to Deco Architects in the amount of $146,966.80 for professional services related to the Walker Early Learning Center renovation project. Recommend we approve. I think this is for continuation. We approved the DDs a month or two ago, so they're working towards construction documents now. And I think those will come back to you, I believe, in September for your final approval before it goes to bid. I think that's the right schedule we're on. We've got some other things going too. I think I've got my projects right. So.
Make a motion to approve Deco Architects, amount of $146,966.80.
Second. All in favor?
Item number 11, these are projects or items associated with the indoor air quality project at the high school gym. So A is pay request number 5 for said project, the amount of $394,417.16. Recommend we approve.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Justin, I hate to put you on the spot, but y'all had a meeting today, and
We did, Ford was here too. Of course, after graduation, they brought in a crane, took the old rooftop units off. Ductwork's going up in the gym now. You guys were there for graduation. Hope you saw a lot of improvements being made. Obviously, there's ceilings tore out and stuff like that while they put the cassettes. I think all the refrigerant lines are now ran, so finishing up putting the cassettes in. We'll be back to do some ceiling tile next week, so continued progress.
They'll start the roof next week, and we talked a lot today about protecting that gym floor and doing work on roof. So that was discussed.
that's good. I'm jealous, though, if from now on, the graduation, maybe people don't know this, but the stage isn't air conditioned, as you all know. So next year, you'll have a cool gym stage for graduation. And
Well, you might
sometime,
should tell, I mean, the air that's there now is just for the space, it's not for the capacity. So this will, once it's all done, it'll meet capacity. So
Yeah.
it'll be a lot cooler for the duration of graduation.
there's been some sweaty graduations on the stage, so. But this is great. I'm happy we're able to do it. So item 11A, recommend we approve. Let's see, that was A. We've already done that one, right? So B, then invoice from Facility Commissioning Group in the amount of $2,268 for professional services related to the indoor air quality improvement project. This is outside the scope of the bid. This is always outside the scope. They work for us. And so they do the commissioning, the balancing, and so forth of every project. So recommend we approve this invoice.
Make a motion to approve pay invoice for Facilities Commission Group amount of $2,268.
Second.
All in favor?
Item number 12 is approval of construction documents for the Bell Elementary HVAC renovation project. Corey, you want to share something with us?
I'm willing to share as much or as little as you guys would like. The documents are right there in front of you, the full-size set with the specifications. This project includes all, if you'd like, that would be great. The first one, the top one. So this project includes all new HVAC for the school, except for the addition portion that has the gymnasium. That's a newer addition and in good shape. All new HVAC, all new lighting, new ceilings, new outside air units for the school, new equipment sitting on the roof. We'll take the old equipment off, put the new equipment on. You're also going to get some additional power inside the classrooms. It's very limited right now, so that's also being added as part of the project. This will be very similar to the gym project as far as what we're doing with the gym building, all new services. This particular school is going to be done in phases so that we can move the kids around, and we're going to take anywhere from 4 to 6 classrooms at a time. We've worked with the staff to make sure that that's something they can handle. So we'll start, whenever we get equipment on site, and then just kind of work our way through the school. And that's where you can see the portion of the school that we are working on, and then over here, the gym and those little areas around there that are newer, we're just leaving in place. Any questions?
What's your anticipated start date?
Well, that is a great question. We are telling them not really this school year, this coming up school year. So it'll bid later this summer. We'll get equipment in place, or equipment ordered. We'll get the shop drawings. We'll take a look at all of that. We'll get the contractors kind of ready to go. That's also what we did for this gym building project. We waited until we had a lot of the equipment on site so that they'd actually have a bulk of things to do at one time.
So it'd be late summer, early fall or something?
Probably at the end of the school year, this coming school year, is when we'll really get started, very, very much.
I want to bring up something in relation to Mr. Muse's question there, but, this is ESSER funded, so
Yes, sir.
we've got an end date out there. We
Yes.
don't anticipate any problem making that, right?
We do not. We are using equipment that we have not had very long lead times. This is a VRF system. That's also what we have on the gym projects, what we have in the middle school. So we don't anticipate a very long lead time for that equipment. So what we really are hoping is we're going to have everything ready to go by the time the school is out so that they can really get started and get going. All right. Thank you.
Make any questions? Other questions, I'm sorry? If not, then I recommend we approve the construction documents for the Bell Elementary HVAC renovation.
Make a motion to approve construction documents for Bell Elementary.
Second.
All in favor?
So item number 13 then is to pay an invoice to GRW for $22,690.40 for professional services for this same job. Recommend we approve.
Motion to approve invoice GRW amount $22,690.40 for professional services.
Second.
All in favor?
Item number 14 is approval to hire an architect engineer for the Bell Elementary roof replacement project. We had one letter of interest from the advertisement. That was Deco, which we're using for everything else anyway, so I recommend we approve Deco for that job.
Make a motion to approve Deco for Bell Elementary roof replacement job.
Second.
All in favor?
Item 15 is approval to renew a contract with Smart Systems for sanitation services and cleaning supplies program. That's for the food service. Yeah, so same, what we've been using, we're just going to renew the same contract we've had with them for food service. Recommend we approve.
Clean food. Make a motion to approve it.
Second.
All in favor?
Item 16 moves us to the consent agenda. 16A is the first reading of KSBA policy update number 46. B is the emergency reading because it has to come into effect on July 1, policy number 08113, which covers graduation requirements, and the new policy 08 number 23, harmful to minors complaint resolution process. You can look those up in your attachments. It just outlines what parents can do, the process to go through, should they have a complaint or an issue with any materials in the school. That goes back to Senate Bill 150 that was recently passed. And item D then, AC is approval of KSB procedure update number 27. That goes along with the policy update. Both of those also address the curriculum content for courses that deal with anything to do with human sexuality, anything related to human sexuality, period. And so the policy itself, if you read through that, if not, you can. It just outlines it straight from the legislation itself. And it really, from now, then it falls to the principal and the site-based council at each school to address those curriculum requirements that are coming down from the legislature. So, D is the approval of district funding assurances for the Kentucky Department of Education. That's jumping through a hoop. Approval of the assignment of admissions and release committee and 504 chairs for each school. You have a list in your attachments. F is approve the proportionate share of federal funds for private school IDEA-B services for 23-24. G is to approve emergency certifications for approximately 60 substitute teachers. H, contracts with Angela Brawls and Chris Lovelace for psychological evaluations. That's for testing. Approval of an extended medical leave for Amy McWhorter for the 23-24 school year. J is approval of minutes from previous meeting. K is approval of claims and wages. L is approval of the treasurer's report. Recommend we approve the consent items.
Motion to approve consent agenda items 16A through 16L.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay, before we adjourn, I failed to mention one thing in the superintendent's report. We are well on our way to having ourselves fully staffed for next year. There's a few positions at the high school that I suspect will be hard to fill. But we're going to have about 30 or maybe a little more new positions for the coming year as well. I was in hopes maybe it wouldn't be hardly that many, but that's what it's going to be. But we've made good progress, and it seems as though the number and maybe the quality of applicants is now starting to trend back up a little bit. So I'm pleased to say that. And I wanted to mention that to you before I left. So, okay, item 17 is to adjourn. Recommend we adjourn. Oh. I can't answer that. I don't know. No action was taken, so I don't. Well, the board can do what they want to do in that regard. Strictly up to them.
How long do you think you need? How long do you need?
That's me. You know, like I mentioned
How far do you need the second meeting back to?
well, like I mentioned in my comments, usually the screening committee is given 2 weeks.
So your next meeting is,
You know, this opening had 15 applications. If this position had 5 or 6 applications, then that's, maybe doable.
yeah.
But, you know, if you really, as a committee member, if you really set, go through each application like we are charged to do, it takes time.
Yeah.
And with that, you may want to go back and read through somebody else's, because I don't think you can make a decision who is best based on one time reading through something.
Your next meeting is when?
Our next committee meeting is tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. And the next one from there will be, I think, the 20th. Will be our third meeting. And then our fourth meeting is the 22nd, next Thursday.
So we have meetings all week this week, have meetings next week too. Just 2 weeks.
Well, not necessarily. That'd just be about 10 days.
Look at me, kids.
As far as from when we
For you
obtained the
first, right.
application,
So the 2 weeks then would be the
we had our
26th.
second meeting to submit our rankings.
Yeah.
To start the referencing, to check references.
Yeah.
Usually you get 2 weeks from the first meeting to the second meeting. Is usually what
Yeah. So the 2 weeks would be the 26th. That would be 2 weeks from the 12th.
But the time frame from meeting 1 to meeting 2 is usually 2 weeks. We would give 4 days to go through 50 applications. And not just the time that committee members are spending on it, but also the time that the applicants put into their application, because they do application, and I'm going to assume that some take a little bit longer to do it, but on average 4 to 5 hours to submit superintendent application. And that's if we're being fair to the applicants, to do our due diligence. I'm not asking you guys to do anything, I'm just throwing information out there, that that's what was given to us. I just want that to be known to the community, and I think you guys know as well, because you had made that decision.
Prior
last
to.
month's meeting. But I guess as the committee chairperson, you would be open to a long period. I think that would speak for our fellow committee members, if the board so chooses to do that.
Well, I agree. That's a lot of information in a short period of time
Yes, ma'am.
that you have to go through.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't,
If we're doing our due diligence.
right.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll have to contact him if we change to hire a interim.
He's already got it all lined up. There's only 3 meetings left.
I know, but they're saying,
Tim can
Yeah,
change it.
he can,
Yeah.
he can change it.
Yeah, I know he can change it, but I said it's already lined up. All the meetings are already lined up, time and everything.
but I mean, they're asking, we've contacted these people. I mean, they've been voted in as a spokesperson, and they're asking for more time. They don't have enough time to do what they think, they need to do, and we need to give them that time.
Members, we all have a job. I mean, most of the teachers are still working at
Yeah.
school. The parents are working, one's in Detroit. It's not like we wake up at 8 o'clock this morning and we've stayed up, we've stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning on the first night.
Yeah.
So, I think we just want to do our due diligence as a committee, to thoroughly go through and make sure that we are sending the best candidates to the board, that we don't miss anything.
And we appreciate that.
What happens to this person, et cetera, moving forward, if they know what the person is, what this person is actually voting in as, this is the people who get what means.
As a committee, we would welcome more time. I'll say that. We would welcome that. But that's up to the board to decide on. And as far as Mr. Eaton and changing the dates, that's what he is paid to do from this school, to work with us to find dates.
And having been held down in his schedule, having him come meet, he obviously is going off to the school that he's working. Actually might benefit him. And what harm is there in having an intern for some?
And I think the number of applicants is a testament to this district, because this is a really good school district. There's been a lot of work throughout the years to get to the point where we are at. This is a great community to live in. That's why we have 15 applications. this was a district that people didn't think good about, then we might have had 4 or 5 applications. But I think it's a testament to the job, to the district, to the staff, that we had 15 people that wanted to come to Monticello, Kentucky, to learn in the schools, to be our next superintendent.
So are we able to make a motion?
Should be able to screen them out pretty easy, because Tim did speak highly of several of them. I'm not gonna call names, but,
Yeah.
so that should knock a lot of them out right there.
But that doesn't mean they don't deserve the due diligence for us to read their application.
Well, maybe if you
A
screen,
couple of them are, yes.
you mean screen 2 or 3 or 4 of them out, it narrows it down.
So we're down to 12 or 13.
Yeah.
It's still not 3 or 4.
The answer to your question is, yes, you could choose to.
Didn't Mr. Eaton mention that there would be 3 to 5 applicants going through, and
Yeah.
that should be ample time for the screening committee each time we met. It's not like you're going through all the 15 in one.
You pick 3 of the 5 from 15.
Yeah.
But you gotta read all
And
15.
you've got 2 more meetings to pick.
3.
Each meeting's got
3.
different, each
And one
meeting
more.
does a different process. It's not reading
Oh.
the applicant.
There's 15 total applicants,
Yeah.
so we gotta go through all 15.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
So you all done went through the 15 one time, right?
No.
Once.
Each application is roughly 10 to 15 pages, depending on the number of letters of recommendation, and depending on how the applicants answer those questions, those 7 or 8 questions that are on there.
But we didn't go through 10, 15 pages each applicant. Tim just read off a few of the high points, right? And the low points.
That's what he done the other
That's
night.
what
Yeah.
The worst, it's our
Yeah.
job
It's
to go
our
back.
job as a committee to go through those pages.
Right.
To read those letters, to read the resume,
I've
to
noticed.
read the application.
He sent us all a link, including yourself, to click on, and you open on.
He didn't send me a link, because I ain't got a link, bud.
Well, my name's Jason, not Bud.
Jason,
I appreciate that.
Jason,
Whatever.
Mr.
but
Lee, how's that?
I'm not a Bud.
Mr. Lee,
So Mike, did you receive, paper applications then?
he didn't send me nothing in the mail, no.
Did you ask for paper applications?
Well, I told him I didn't
Did you-
get on the internet.
Did you
I
ask?
told him at night I didn't get on the internet.
How are you looking at them, Larry?
I'm not looking at him.
He's not.
He gives us a list of his applications, and a few more things. As far as resumes, no, he didn't even know information on that.
So you haven't looked at anything? You haven't looked at any of the resume, letters of recommendation?
What he told us over there, I mean, he didn't pass none out to anybody.
We just go by the few things that he told us. That's what we're supposed to do, go through all 15 applications, all pages, all the resumes, all the letter of recommendations, everything, all the questions. So you'll need to request paper copies. I understand you don't have email, but, I mean, so that means like between now and tomorrow night at 6 p.m., you've got 140-something pages to read.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a lot. I don't know. I mean, I know you work. You're not going to have time to read all those applications by tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
Well, I don't have a problem going. If you need 2 weeks, I make a motion that the next meeting be the 26th.
Thank you, Melissa.
Second.
Thank you.
Second.
We got anybody else in favor?
Give him 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
One thing, we're not gonna hire no intern in the meantime.
What's that?
We're not gonna hire intern in the meantime.
So are you gonna postpone the start
You
of
have-
school?
You have to
Can
hire-
I make a motion? Because we need that 30 days for the new superintendent, whoever she may be, an extra time to get up seated and let them know what's going on.
We tried to do this last time, we made this
Correct.
The board just voted to give us 2 more weeks to do this. You just sit there.
It's not
This
gonna
is
hurt
what
to
would have
have.
happened a month ago. If you guys would have just approved it the first time a month ago.
Okay, so here's the way I understand this.
The motion, they'll have to, somewhere the 26th, 27th, wherever Mr. E can meet with you guys again, that'll be your next meeting.
That'll be meeting number 2.
Meeting number 2.
That's correct. So to kind of bring this to some closure here,
We're changing the whole schedule.
and I
We'll have to-
want to make sure the minutes reflect what we've just done, and I'm getting out of this. So the minutes will reflect that the board voted, I don't know, Larry, did you vote in the affirmative or?
No.
No, so it's 3-2 to move
The date into,
The date
for the 26th,
for the
27th,
26th.
whatever
Yeah.
Mr. E is
2
available.
2 weeks. So Kevin then, as the
Well, he's
committee
not
chair, will contact Mr. Eaton, and the schedule will then be reshuffled, and then he can get back with the board about the next steps for the board then moving forward.
This is actually the original timeline that
Yeah.
Mr. Eaton suggested, so we're actually
Yeah.
just going back to doing what he recommended we do in the first place.
Well, now,
So
he
he'll
ma-
be willing to work with us on that, for sure.
I'm sure he will, yes.
He made 2 recommendations.
No,
He made one.
He said we could have 2 recommendations. We can do it the timeline we went back to,
He
or
is not
or
here
the.
to speak for himself, so how about we don't assume that he said anything other than what we know him personally.
Yeah, I think this, the board voted, so that's that, so just, that's what's going to happen, so
Make a motion to adjourn.
there we go.
I second.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Jones? Well,